Good morning, Paul.
Good morning,
Frosty
Tom.
start to the day on the 1st of November here.
Yeah.
My street was awash with young people dressed up as ghosts and goblins last night.
Yeah, mine was too. And in a few days' time, we're going to be looking forward to the fireworks. Although the pets, the dogs won't be looking forward to that as much. So, yeah.
So then October has been and gone what it feels like in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
There's been, the content keeps coming out, which is great. Enya's been really good at reaching out to people and getting some really great content.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of our kind of interviews from our trip to Mount Nessing with the artist studios have started to come up. In fact, I've just posted another one with Majida Birch this morning. Really interesting interview. So she's an artist and author. They've owned their own business. Her and her partner have owned their own business for some years now. Really great the way she, because when you think about art and artists, well, certainly I don't immediately think about how you kind of find customers or how you sell, your creative works. And it's really interesting, hearing from somebody who's been doing that for, good 15, maybe even 20 years.
Yeah, they're the real sort of nuts and bolts of the support services, I guess, that go around artists. And yeah, I certainly had no understanding of that industry.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
And also when the stereotype of an artist, somebody painting in a studio, and I think also, like some professions, people have a stereotypical idea of, well, people work hard, you work very hard as a lawyer, for example, but less clear on what working hard as an artist looks like. But it's really, so what's really interesting is Madge, when she's answering the third question, our third golden question, what would you say to someone starting out today? She says, you're going to need to work really hard. You can't be afraid of hard work. So it's, it's just lifting the lid, which is what we're here to do.
Yeah, excellent. So in sort of other areas of, I know we've been speaking with a number of the local enterprise partners, the LEPs across, with Steve Trotter in Hertfordshire, who continues to be a superb supporter of the channel. And,
big thanks to Steve.
Absolutely, yeah. And then his colleagues across Oxfordshire and East Sussex.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hoping, that soon the schools will really begin to engage in a bit more of a meaningful way.
One of the things that you and I have been talking about, one of the things that he said to us that it'd be really useful to have is like or for us to host would be a webinar. And and you and I both looked at each other blankly because we've never that's something we've never done before. So as a bit of homework, that's something we've been thinking about putting together content for a webinar. And what this would really be is introducing to schools how to use the channel, and also how to go about getting interviews with their alumni, and the anything we can add in terms of experience of schools that are a little bit ahead of them who are already doing that. I'm really interested at this point, if anyone's watching, really interested to talk to people who have run webinars and put together webinar content, because that's really the next, it's one of the next things that we're going to be wanting to do for people on work.
Well, and actually that sort of feeds into the website as well, which I am slowly pulling together. It's these blog posts will be featured.
Okay, excellent.
So that's definitely part of the website going forward, and like you say, a section on it that's orientated towards schools and how what best practice looks like in schools for delivering a careers discovery program using people on work, and then also for employers that are really interested in employer branding and how they can portray the great work that their teams undertake. I think we're on track to get that done by the end of the year.
Yeah.
We've still got a few weeks ahead, and hopefully, the day jobs might ease up a little bit to help that move forward with a bit more energy.
Yeah. And talking about employers, and how employers can use our content that not only is then going to be beneficial to schools and beneficial to people who are thinking about work and careers. It's thinking about that service that we offer to employers to get that to reach out into not just the employment market, but also then community neighbours and anyone really with a relationship or a stake in their business or brand. So we were, you and I were talking to that audience last week, weren't we? Because we popped down to what's called Fortress Chelmsford at the
Essex County Cricket Club. Yeah,
Essex County Cricket Club. Yeah.
Yeah. I said, I live in Oxfordshire. There's a different vibe when you get into Essex.
Okay.
There is, and you really sense it. There are people out there. They are
different in what way? Yeah.
Much more entrepreneurial. Definitely.
Okay.
There's you sort of sense it in the air. You see all the builders driving around in their huge 4x4 Mercedes pickup trucks. You see the high street's not quite as dominated by chain stores. People, there's I'd love to live in Essex. I think I'd fit in quite well.
Well, I just from my point of view, we'd love to have you. I think you'd fit in perfectly.
Yeah. Not to say there's anything wrong with Oxfordshire.
No, definitely not. No.
Yeah.
But it is what's really good is that kind of reminds us as well that's such a big part of our audience too, that businesses and brand owners, because we can really offer them and this was the intention, to offer them something that they can't get anywhere else, and offer them reach into places that traditional marketing or branding doesn't really bring them.
Yeah. No, it's I mean 2 or 3 people I spoke to last week, when you talk about careers advice, and these are people of a certain age, so it's historic, but they 2 or 3 people mentioned that they felt that they'd had fairly poor guidance with regard to careers at school, and they also felt that whatever industry they were in, I spoke to one guy in particular, he was in sort of GDPR, data compliance. That's an industry that has come out of nowhere, really. I mean, GDPR has been around a long time, but it's really it's much more high profile than it's ever been. Something every business now has to really consider quite strongly, and I'm sure it's something that careers departments around the country are struggling to really describe to students. So I'll definitely be trying to get back in touch with him for an interview for the channel.
So who better to kind of open that understanding than somebody actually working in the in the profession themselves. I think my other kind of really one of my favorite takeaways from that meeting is there was the chief executive of Tiptree Jams, or the company that owns the Wilkins Tiptree brand. And he was talking about the pandemic and the changes the business went through there. But the little nugget of information that I didn't know is that Tiptree Jams make a jam called Little Scarlet, which is James Bond's favorite jam. So who knew that?
Indeed. I'll be looking out for a jar on a shelf near me soon, hopefully. Okay, well, let's leave it there. That's short and sweet for this month, and see you again for the December one.
Excellent. Really looking forward to it. Cheers, Tom.
Cheers, Paul.